that was your first conference game. Yep. Overall, how do you feel like it? I know the result obviously wasn't what you wanted.
Yeah, definitely wasn't what we wanted, but I think a lot of people are picking that team to win the conference. So I felt we made progress as far as the season going along because, like I was telling them, a lot of them guys never even played varsity or even JV, so this is new to them. We've only been practicing, 3-4 weeks now. So it's a process for them to learn how to play at this level. And I think we're taking baby steps. So hopefully by the end of the season, we'll be where we need to be.
So what are your goals with your team? Because when you're playing up against teams, a lot of times because you're playing on a varsity level, you're playing against juniors and seniors, and you don't have anyone that's past the sophomores. So what are you telling these guys? How do you motivate them? And what are your goals for this season?
Like for this game, our goal was to try to limit turnovers. The East Wake game, we was just turning the ball over and they were getting layups out of it. Where I felt today we was able to take care of the ball. So that's a big step for us, and that was a big goal for this game, to be able to take care of the ball and handle the pressure. So it's things like that, just. Because I know when I was a player and I played against a younger guy, your goal is to try to be real physical with them. So that's what a lot of teams are doing to us. And so our goal is to limit our turnovers and try to get used to how physical the game is at this level.
And I know they had 11 threes, I think, tonight.
Yeah, that was tough.
Was a lot of that because they were just kind of hitting them? Or was it also a little bit, you guys might not have been, getting up?
Yeah, a little bit of both. I told the guys I'd rather them shoot a three than have them shoot a layup. But also, again, that's another young guy thing. Even though I'm saying let them shoot a three, I still want your hand to be up. You're not just looking at them shoot it. So it's still a learning process. But yeah, that was by design. I didn't want them to run out, jump on a three-point shot and let them drive. But I wanted to have a little pressure on the ball. So that's another learning thing that we got to improve on.
And it seems like there were so many different times, especially in the second half. I know you guys would hit a three. It looked like there was some momentum, and then they would hit like one or two right back in your face.
Yeah,
so, how important, I guess, was kind of that momentum factor in this one?
Yeah, it was definitely important. Again, like you said, they hit some three. We hit a three, then they would hit a three. And again, it was where we didn't really put our hand up. We just sort of watched them shoot it. So, we're taking baby steps to get better as the season get along. And hopefully they learn from this game, that even though we're saying don't take away the three, you still have to at least put a hand up to try to deter the shot a little bit. So we'll get better.
Yeah, and I watched a lot of Jaren last year. It seems like this year he seems to just have grown more into his game. He seems to be more physical. He can shoot the ball a little bit better. What have you kind of seen out of him in the 6 games you guys have had this year?
Actually, today was a big improvement for him. I felt the first couple of games he sort of let the other team sort of take him out of the game, where he wasn't as aggressive as he should be. And that was one of the reasons why we sort of came here, because we knew the level of talent would be a little bit different, where he'd have to have more responsibility. So I thought today he took on more responsibility than he did the first couple games. So hopefully he's learning from that.
Is he owning his space more? Because as Victor said, at the first few games, it kind of seemed, and you were just talking about the overall team, there you weren't used to the physicality, but there were a couple of times where he kind of brushed aside the other guys.
Yeah, exactly. Jaren's played, I guess that's a different thing. Jaren played on the champion or finals team last year, where they played against a lot of physical teams. And also he played on the travel basketball this past summer, where it was a lot of physical games. So I felt that he was going to be used to it. But as the season went along, or as we started the season, I don't think he was used to as much responsibility being on him. So he sort of shied away from being as aggressive as he should be, and sort of leading the team like he did sort of today. So again, like for him too, he's still young and he has a lot to learn too. So hopefully he's learning as well.
What are some of the biggest improvements you've seen overall in the teams or individual players besides Jaren?
The biggest today, like I was saying, turnovers. Like I remember I think it was the first scrimmage game we played against Carborough, and all the guys were saying, "Oh, we're playing against grown men." I'm like, well, this is varsity basketball. So that was pretty funny. But those guys, they were real physical, played man to man, and they didn't even trap. They were just being physical and was just taking the ball from us. Whereas today, I felt we were strong with the ball. We was able to take the trap and still find our open men. So that's a big first step for us, and we're definitely going to build on that.
Victor and I talked a lot to Coach Gary on the football team and about what his goals are. And it's not easy, again, with freshmen and sophomores playing against varsity teams that have juniors and seniors. Where do you, again, we know where you want to be at the end of this year, but where do you want to be for setting up the program for year 2 and year 3? Because next year they're going to be juniors. The following year they're going to be seniors. And as we've seen in Carborough, they started off similar to Seaforth, and then they started just kicking. Can I say rear end? I think I can.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I spoke with the Carborough coach after our scrimmage, and he was saying the same thing. We're a young team, and we should be able to build upon what we're doing this year. So that's sort of the goal. This is like the foundation for future years, but also we still want to try to win this year. So it is a gradual process, and I was happy with what I saw today as far as our effort, taking care of the ball. We can get a little bit better rebounding, but again, it's baby steps. So as far as our goals is just to try to get better every game. If you can win the game, of course, that's what we want to do, but it's not the end goal of this season. The end goal is just to try to get better and get used to playing at this level, because we know we have a few more years to hopefully be a championship team.
Yeah, I know you got Bartley Yancey next, right? What are you going to do to kind of get ready for that?
Again, we're just going to try to stick with our same goals. A big thing for us is limiting our turnovers, and I think if we take care of the ball and defend a little bit better than we did today, then we should be in every game.
How's your mix of players? Have you figured out what groupings work well for you and what substitutions? Are you still? Is that something you're still working on?
Yeah, still working on, because it's funny with young guys. You never know how they'll react in the game. Because I guess before in the preseason and during the summer when we were doing our workouts, I felt pretty confident about our team. But once we got into live action against older guys, it was a lot different than I expected them to react. So I'm still trying to get used to how they're reacting to playing against older players. So the rotations are still sort of making adjustments for that.
Are you going to ask your game ball question?
I was going to get to that.
Go
One
ahead.
of my favorite questions to ask, coaches and things like that, and I just asked Jaron as well, is if you had to give a game ball to somebody, who are you giving it to?
I had to give it to Jaron, because he was aggressive today. He took on a lot more responsibility than he did the previous game. So hopefully he keeps that up.
I think 31 points, I think, is what he had. Not too shabby.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
All right, Coach. That's all I have for you.
Thank you, Coach.
Guys.
Thank you.